Okay, good afternoon, folks. Sorry about the delay there. Just finishing up, or had to finish up a conference call over lunch. So the market got a little more active today, that's for sure. Much better than yesterday. Howdy, JD. I'm just gonna finish my scans here. Sorry. One of the computers here has decided to slow right down on me. Okay, so yeah, a little more active today. I only had a few trades this morning. I actually missed the good ones from the watch list. So things set up pretty good this morning, actually. OSIS, shoulda, coulda, woulda for the day. I was alerting it down in here. Some of the members did get it up 9.12%. It was up like 12% or whatever. It was set up perfect in the fibs here. That was my target up there. So yeah, so anyway, what I'm going to do, there's symmetry in this chart. I'm going to wait for it to come off, and then I'm going to hit it again because it's playing out once again to the symmetry. You'd have to, well, let's look at it really quick. This is a really interesting chart. Where did my chart go? Here it is. Okay. So this is posted to my TradingView account publicly and on Twitter, so you can go study it yourself. But if you look at these fib retracements, oddly perfect symmetry in the works here. So one of two scenarios is going to play out here. Well, one of three, I guess. But anyway, it's playing out perfect so far. So that's OSIS. So OSIS is high on my watch list now that I've missed my execution this morning, but there's more to play out, obviously. What else did I miss here? The watch list. Why don't I? Yep, once again, wasn't prepared. Let's look at the watch list here. Sage, yeah, that one moved mostly before the report came out. SQ, so Square. It's not bad. I had it just over the 20 here on the 240. That's when I alerted it this morning. Sent it out on the report. Early this morning, I had it right down in here, 38.24-ish probably. Anyway, that would have been a fairly decent play. So I missed that one. I missed OSIS. I don't know what happened with MYO. We'll find out here soon. But that was another one I was going to trigger. What I did trigger was the volatility side of things. So that went well. And I went pretty deep on that short. So I shorted TVIX. So not a huge percentage gain, but I went really deep. So pardon me. So that went well, and then XIV on a swing. I've come out. We got an alert on SENS here. I trimmed 50% of it, and that's going well. So that's XIV. So two different volatility plays there. I'm going to look at SENS here real quick, since it's alerting. And I should look at the alerts from the last few days here. Bulldogs have these really fine, it's hard to explain their hairs, and right before this video every day I take Monkey the Bulldog for a play session, and I happen to be wildly allergic. So I apologize. And to change a Bulldog schedule, I mean, they go into depression if you try and do that. I'd like to change his play schedule, right? It's crazy, but true. Okay, so here's the stock RSI moving up on SENS. Now, SENS has a chart structure that's very bullish. About an 8, 7.5, 8 out of 10-ish kind of thing. So it's coiled right to this place now with its stock RSI turning up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to alarm it. I could execute here, but instead of experiencing any pain, because I got 2 trades underwater, 2 swings, and I'm stressing people out, I'm going to enter over that 50 MA and just take the meat of this if it firms up here. So SENS crossing the 50 MA on the daily. I'll take that trade. I'm largely convinced that this is going to go to the north, but let's just make sure we do it properly. So that's SENS square. I missed my entry just over the 20. Now the 100 is your resistance. Squeeze momentum is green, MACD's up, stock RSI is right at the top. So that stock RSI is going to come off. And then we're going to have another entry opportunity. I'm going to alarm this for 38.60 so that I'm on top of it when that actually happens. Because I want, well, I might not even, let's go 38.70 just in case the retracement isn't enough. And you know what, just to make sure, I'm going to say over the 100 MA. Okay, so that's square. OSIS, how do I alarm this one so I can just get it off the board? Oh, and that stock RSI in the daily's just turning up too. That's interesting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down to 60. And, oh, the MACD is up on it. Okay, let's go to the 240. Pardon me. I'm just trying to set in a reminder alarm here. I get so busy with stuff that I can miss these so easily. I miss more than I get. Okay, so let's do the MACD here. So add alert MACD crossing the MACD on the 2 hour. So that's OSIS. Pardon me. SPPI got a good jump this morning. I was impressed. The buyers definitely came in. 408,000, so the volume was half decent. It got into its MAs here, and I thought for sure it was going to blow through. It did, and then it came back down. So there, yeah, it made this 50% list, by the way. I think I'm just going to post this right now so that anybody that watches this can just go to my Twitter feed. And pick that up if they like. Okay, so there's that. So I'm underwater a little bit on it, but I know that one's going to rock. Well, nobody knows for sure anything, but. And then AAOI. So this is my, so those are the 2 I'm underwater on. SPPI, well, 3 actually, SPPI, but not really. I mean, I'm fine. AAOI, I'm definitely underwater on. That's my nemesis of the year for 2017. And Nugget, I'm off a little bit, but let's check gold. Where is my gold? There it is. So it came within, so it got down to 1251.76. I've got to buy an add for 1249.95. So call it about, what is that? Just under 2 points. So I'm really close to my add zone in GC, so gold and in nugget, and I'll definitely be adding in there. The other quick thing is oil is up, getting up near resistance. I'm going to be shorting it soon. AAOI. So this dog, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to bring this chart up because I am getting some pressure, right? So we have a sphere of influence, and what a lot of retail traders don't understand is that a swing trade quite often is a swing trade. And what I mean by that is, you know, there's a race, or there's a ball game there, there's a game, there's a chess game, there's a plan. So when you're going around the racetrack and you decide that you want to take two wheels off the car, it's not going to go well. So you got to be prepared for the swing part of things. Now, AOI is exceptional, but if it was broke, if it was completely broke, I'd be out. I would take my hit and go. And people know that about me. All my trades are public. Everything that I do is absolutely public. And if I have a broken situation, I'll cut. Surprisingly enough, AOI, with how far underwater I am, is actually not a broken trade. It would be if I couldn't establish that it's structurally in play. Now, if it lost 36.69, I would be extremely upset, but it hasn't. I know it sucks, but it's fine. Now, this zone that it's in right now, not comfortable. I get it. It's freaking some people out. But let me just get you a little bit of clarity here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this right now. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so you see how I duplicated that part of, so now what I'm doing is building a model on the fly here, right? See, the thing is, if a stock's in play, it's in play. So if your sizing is okay, you can finish the game. If your sizing is not okay, that's a different story. So had I been way underwater on this and my sizing wasn't right and I couldn't do what I can do with this, which is add right places when it gets its jump. So in other words, what am I saying? Well, if you look at this chart, what you're going to find is that there's support down here. Now you see how just that lined up with the wider support? This is not a broken trade. It's broken when these supports fall out and they don't come, and it doesn't come back. This is just retracement activity. That's what's going on here, all the way through here. So if this doesn't get a bounce and it just breaks support, yeah, it's gone. But while I still get bounces, I'm still in the game. And if I can get structural bounces, I'm completely in the game. This bounce here was completely structural. This was structural. This was structural. And this, all of this is structural. This is all in the game still. So what do? The next time that I get lift and it's structural, I start to add. I can add heavy and I can pull back. So did I do it here? No, I missed my trigger in here and I should have taken it, but I missed it. The point is, I'd be almost even now. There's no reason to just cut these. Like if you miss the cut fast, which is what I should have done with this one, So I've missed two things. I missed the initial cut fast, I missed this, but the beautiful part about being in the game, having your sizing right, is that the balls keep coming or the cards keep coming, and you can keep, firing at the game. And, if a person can't sit through that, for a percentage or 2 or 3 of their account, then don't get involved in the markets, right? That's how it works. So anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole plan. I just wanted to go through a little bit of a rant there just to explain that there is a structural plan and it's fine. Okay, SENS. So we know what we're doing there. What else is going on here? Let's look at the watch list. Okay, so I think I covered most of what was on that watch list. Let's go into, so DPW raised guidance and MYO had relative strength yesterday. So I want to just see what the results of those two things are. MYO, because I didn't watch them at open. I had them as part of my watches, but I got so distracted. So MYO up 18%. Wow. I want to see when that lift happened. So ready to open. Some in pre and some at open. So yeah, I seen that coming. I have to admit, but it's not as predictable as others that I and team members got into today. DPW, seen that coming too. Interesting. So when did this lift happen? It was a bit choppy after open. Okay, what else was on the list? So we've got some earnings after. They're on my Twitter feed. FSLR went well yesterday. I want to see how this proved out here today. And then I guess we've got the alarm gone off the last few days too. So FSLR, look at that. The follow through is there. I was wondering. See, let your winners ride. Dang it. We had that so set up, and that MACD's just starting to curl. But, if you get wins, you get wins, and take the wins that you get. And when you're in trouble, work your way out of the trade like I am on mine, or cut fast, better yet. And, your account thanks you for it. But don't panic and don't get into crap that you can't finish the game in, right? What else was on this list this morning? So that was a pretty active, tuned in pre-market list, I have to say. That all worked out well. I normally don't go back to that pre-market report, but this morning I knew it was setting up good. I could tell the markets were shifting properly, and it reflected in that plan, and it's reflected in the markets. Okay, so let's go to our alarms for the last few days here, just to make sure we're up to date. SENS. Let's take a quick look here for JD. So SENS. So how this works is, yes, it is. So yeah, when the 20 comes through, or any of them come underneath like that. So the 20 underneath the 50, and then now this is powerful because the 100's with it. Anyway, and the 20 goes up through, back up through, and price is above your right. So that's a boomtown play. So that changes my perspective on it too. Like, yeah, way more aggressive. Like I really should be. This happens to me all the time, like all the time, and I know it frustrates. Like I have all kinds of conversations with traders and people that follow me, or various spheres of influence that we have. And people are always like, Kurt, you got to trust your charts. And for me, it's like, you know what? If I get a little piece of everything and I accumulate 100 to 400% a year, I'm good. And if I struggle for a quarter or two, like I have the last quarter or two, and it hasn't been bad. I mean, it's just that I'm not gangbusters. When that happens, that's fine, because 100 to 400% a year, that's lots. I don't need to take on the stress and the unknown, right? And like the other thing, like a lot of people will say, is you don't set stops. Well, I tell everybody to set stops because I don't know what other people are going to do. But I don't normally, very rare, do I set a stop. And the reason why is because I don't take trades and stuff that's structurally turds, right? So I'm taking, I know that even if my worst scenario happens, I'm still in the game because my sizing's right and I'm in a structural trade. And when you understand how that works, you're still fine. If you've got a chess game and you take the board and you throw it up in the air, that's no longer a structural game. So the stuff that I enter, so when you see me like in the mornings and the day trades and stuff, I'm like, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in this. I'm not. It's because there's like a filter of things that you go through as you look at a chart, and I don't even need to know about the chart. As you go through it and you're qualifying whether or not it's structurally in play. If it's structurally in play, I don't care what happens to it. I don't panic. That makes sense? Cool. Now, this is a right ear sidewinder that's setting up. It's moderately tight. In other words, like if it was really flat and long, not as good. You want them to be as round as possible in here. And that's pretty nice. So JD hit it right on. The reason they're so powerful technically is because what happens is it's a retracement. And in order for the MAs to do this on the daily, the retracement has to be technically perfect. Near, depending on how perfect it is, will depend on how structural that what we call a right ear sidewinder is. In other words, that setup is a perfect retracement on the daily chart that allows for technically perfect setup where when price gets above those MAs, it's going to go from there 90-some% of the time and aggressively to the north. That's how it works. It's technical. I could go through the retracement and set up the fibs on here and show you why and how, but it's a phenomenal play. So now I'm in a position where I've got to think through, do I really want to? See, this is coiled, and you're seeing it in the indicators, right? They're getting flat, and that's what happens in a coil because the weak hands get shoved out, they sell, the bulls hold, and you're flattened out. So all of this says it's all setting up, and then what happens is the volume starts coming in, and then it's either going to go north or south. And like AAOI, it went south, but AAOI, as long as it sits in here, when it goes south, you're fine. You're still structurally fine. It just means that some other weak hands had to get shook out. But if the chart is a structured chart, you don't have to worry about it. So anyway, I'm kind of ranting about it today and explaining that as best as I can in short, because we have so many different people at so many different levels in so many different ways in our sphere of influence now. And I have to admit to you that there are some things happening that are causing me to realign my consideration of who we allow in and who we don't. And I know a lot of people would be like, you guys allow certain people in, and yeah, it's true, because people have to understand the game that they're signing up for, right? So I do my best to educate people on that, but at the same time, there's balance there. Okay, so I love that. I'm going to leave my decision where it's at to go in after the 50. I mean, I guess I could amp up I could say the 20. I'll take a good look at the 22. And the structure of this whole chart is, you know, like I said, a 7.5, 8 out of 10. It's bullish. That's a good chart. Okay, Kurt, alarms. Is that where I was? I think that's where I was going to go. Hey? I'm sure it was. VIX, Facebook. Let's look at Facebook here quick. No problem, JD. Thanks for noting that, actually, because I missed it. And I quite often miss them. And there's one setting up on Facebook, too. But you see, pardon me, sorry. You see this, this is much longer. So it's not as powerful. You're not going to get as vicious of a move out of it. But it's there in Facebook. So when I looked at this the other day, Sean asked me to look at it, and I told him I didn't think it was ready yet to go, and look at what it's doing. But I did tell him, like, I qualified the fact, like, Facebook, these Facebook, Googles, Microsofts, you know, this is all like, I mean, look at the chart. Like, for me to say, well, I don't think it's quite ready yet, I mean, the easy thing for me to say would have been, well, yeah, go for it, right? I mean, because this is what, you know, safe money does. It's pretty hard to screw this up. But, you know, what beta or ROI are you going to get, et cetera? I mean, it's been good, but sitting in Facebook, you're never going to get 100 to 400% a year, I guess is my point. And that's what I get. That's not bragging, that's just, you know, so my communication, my involvement with the community out there is challenging, right? Because you're always explaining yourself. Like, you're always, like, it's just, it never ends. Like, even on the feeds today, you know, it's like everywhere, like in Discord, alert feeds, on my DM, emails, phone calls, like all the time. I'm always explaining myself. And it's like I don't mind helping a trader at all. Well, I mean, that's what I love, is helping people with their trades and stuff. But when they're relying on what I do and how I do it, and then they're second guessing me and questioning me, the problem is, like, when I take a trade, it isn't like there was 2 scenarios that I made the decision on. Like, there's like hundreds of things that go through your mind, right? You're sifting through this, it's a sifting process. So you might have between 20 to 200 things you look at. Now, for me to explain that, wow, I think you get the point, right? It's tough. So I'm complaining today. That's what I'm doing. It's not Thursday, it's complaint day. Facebook, there you go. So Sean was right. He really liked it. I told him to hold off, and I was wrong. But I didn't like it underneath that 100. You know, it's not a comfortable place. Didn't like it. Now I like it. It's over the 20 and structurally setting up. But I still don't even like it with that MACD. I mean, that still bothers me, but it's going in the right direction. But but it's not what I trade normally, right? It's not going to get me the return. Wow, what a rant. FSLR, we already went through that. Beautiful. Hold part of your winners. Let them ride. EXP. So this was on the swing report, I think, last night. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what I said about it on the report, but I should bring those swing reports up more often. Can't remember what I said, but it did alarm. Oh, look at this. See? There it is. There it is. That's what they look like right there. You see what happened? That's a right ear sidewinder right there. I knew a guy, this is all he traded, and he made a fortune. The guy that trained me, that's all he traded. Exclusively right ear sidewinders, he called them. It's not a technical term, but that's what he called them. remember to ask Sartaj when we're coding this year to just code one algorithm for just that. Yep. In fact, if we could find a way, even short term, to just have this alarm for us, like through TradingView, it's so predictable. I don't know if I've ever seen it lose. It's so powerful, but it's got to be on the daily chart. Remember that. On the other charts, it's not as powerful. Like every time you go down, time frame you go down, it's weaker. It still works, but it's weaker. And I don't know how it reacts on the weekly. I imagine it'd be stronger than the daily. Or the monthly, I've never looked. But man, that's a great setup. That's better than the 200 MA setup that I taught everybody. Or worked with. I didn't teach everybody that because a lot of people knew that. But anyway, the point is, I gotta remember this. Like I really have to, I gotta write this down. I gotta like get Sartaj on this, right? You're a sidewinder. So I gotta look into TradingView and see if there's a way. I gotta get Sartaj to code it. And I have to do a video on it. I have to do a blog piece on it. Like I have to do a bunch of stuff on it and I got to get it in Tilka Standard Play because it's probably the best one I have. Just I've never. Anyway, thanks JD for bringing that up. But look at that. There's one there. Beauty. And then this is what happens outside of them, and then you get it. What it does is it pushes it out of your out of the bowl, and then you know how people to get into, well, there's your cup and handle. This is the handle. You don't want that handle to happen, by the way. That handle's happening, like a lot of people say, oh, you know, that's a good, no, it's not. I mean, it's a decent setup, but what you're doing is you're picking up the scraps from after this scenario happening. So those setups playing out, this is just hesitation and the shakeout of the weak hands after the fact. That's what the handle part is. And it's got a high probability of continuation, but it doesn't have anything near the probability of that right ear sidewinder. So anyway, so you know, I don't know a play that beats that one. Okie dokie. And then when you get the horns, it's because you've got that setup that's really tight and really powerful. And that's why the guy that trained me would say, don't mess with the horns, because it was always the right ear sidewinder, like it was scrunched up tight and coiled tight, and that's why you get such a vicious uplift out of those horns. And that's why you'd say don't mess with the horns. So hopefully all that makes sense. Okay, so let's keep rolling. Technical trading is awesome. Like if you have the time, that's why I always complain about not having the time. Like I'm in the trading business, but I don't have time to trade, because I can trade all day long and easily, like I think the folks in the room are starting to see. They work. Okay, so OSIS, we went through NAC. Is that alarm today? No, December 7th. What am I doing on December 7th? It is the 7th today, am I? NAC, it alarmed today. Where did that go? NAC, there we are. 9:30, it alarmed. Stock RSI turned down. Caught in the MAs again. Ugh. I'm not even gonna re-alarm it, because it's just ugh. It's not doing it. There's better plays. NVO. So I had this one early on in here, traded it, of course, left early. Kurt's got to start leaving at least a portion of his trades to run. Something Kurt's got to do. I just hate looking at, you know, it's just causes your brain to think, right? You're looking at your list of trades and it's like, oh, now I got 28 of them open, right? But what are we in now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of hard to count this. Oh yeah, well, it makes sense. It's getting to the end of its fifth-ish and it's up against chart history. And that's, so this is a totally structural. Look at after the right of your sidewinder right there. That's where the right of your, that's where the opportunity was in this one. After I left, I think, because I think I was down in here. Anyway, look at that. See how tight that one is? And boom. Kaboom. That's how it works. It works. And if it fails, it fails. See here, here's one here, but this is a little different because this is under the 200 MA. And price did get above it, but you see how long it is? And it's, I mean, it's there, but that's why you got to be careful. If they're long like that, they're not tight, and the trend isn't really strong. Sorry, I got machinery right outside my window here for half a minute. And anyway, so you can kind of cover that. But that's what they look like. No, see, this was, yeah, that's right, yeah. Then here's another one here. But see, this one, this 20 is coming from underneath, going over top. That 20 is coming from over top, underneath. That's the difference. I think that's the difference. Yeah, like here, right here. 20 is coming over top and underneath. I think that's the difference. Anyway, you'd have to study them out to see. But I know it relates technically to your MAs and your fibs and stuff if you reference your fibs and your MA to your MAs. Okay. Now we're looking at, sorry, this noise should be gone here soon. NVO shop. So NVO, am I going to alarm it? No, I'm going to let it go because it's run its course. Sure, it can get up and over, but its real opportunity, for now at least, is gone. And that's on our swing trading platform. So, you know, I rotate through them all about once a month. And so I'll take a look at it again. And the same thing goes for NAC. That's on our swing platform. Shop. So here we go. So here's a right ear sidewinder. Price is underneath. It's a fairly long one, so not the best. But if price gets over top of that, it's probably boom time. And it just bounced off its 200. So that would be an execution in of itself. But let's go with the sidewinder. So add alert, shop crossing the 20 MA. And so we'll come back to that one. FSLR has been good. XOMA, I think pronounced Soma. So there's the horns. Now, there's the horn without even a sidewinder. But look at those. That's power. So it's just in its first day, top side of the horns. So the way that you're supposed to play this is if price holds the previous high on the day, it's go time. Now, the tighter it is, the better it is. 32.89 looks like. So then I go down on my 1 minute and see where's 32.89. So it is right there. So it doesn't leave that. I don't know if that's the exact number. I'd have to go back on the chart because it kind of looks like it's here by price action. But anyway, very interesting. So that's on the 1 minute. So MACD is coming down, stock RSI is coming down. So this is the bull thrust through. Now the back check is going to happen. Now that stock RSI is going to cross up before the MACD is going to. So the question is, do you want to take the early indicator or the later indicator? I'm going to take the later. Now this is on a 1 minute chart, so either way you look at it, they're both early or tight. MACD crossing MACD. If that proves out, I might even take this trade early. The way I was trained was not to take this until the end of day or pre-market the next day if your previous high holds and your indicators line up. But because I really like this one and I've watched it for so long, I'm going to probably take this trade. If that MACD comes down and crosses back up, I'm probably in, even if it happens today. Airy, so another one that we watch. Horns. No, that's not Airy. That's the XOMO horns. Let's get the Airy up. Why won't Airy come up? FSLR. Airy does not have horns. This one alarmed why? Well, let's find out. Squeeze. Okay, so the squeeze momentum indicator's turned down. Good thing I got out of this one when I did. So you can see why that right ear sidewinder is important, because that could have been a right ear sidewinder setting up there, and then it flopped. And yeah. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add alert through the 50 and reassess. Now I'm trying to remember if I re-alarmed HIIQ. It's caught in its MAs under the 200. Dang, that's not good. So I'm going to alarm this for crossing the 20, just in case the sidewinder sets up on it. So that's HIIQ. CASI. I can't remember if I re-alarmed it. CASI is not easy to play. So I'm going to go with the stock RSI on this one. This is not easy. This one's tough to alarm. Look at the hourly here. This is not easy stock to play, but it gets great ROI if you're on the right side. I'm going to go with the 20 MA on the 60 minute. Crossing the 20 MA on the 60 minute chart, and then I'll reassess. CDNA, so these are from yesterday, but I can't remember. So almost identical chart. No, that is identical chart because that is CASI. CDNA we're looking for. CDNA. There we go. So that's CDNA and that's CASI. Similar. This one's tough to play too because it just sits on its MAs. See, that makes them tough. It's making its moves above, you know, for the most part above the 20. You're like, you're not getting a return to anywhere near the 200. And quite often what these do is they just flop right over on you. So you gotta be so careful with them. I'd much prefer them to get back near the 200 and go up and build each time, you know, through the bull. Interesting. It just makes it so hard to enter these. That MACD is on its way down, squeeze is on its way down. So I'm going to go with the MACD. alert, MACD crossing MACD. And this is going back, oh yeah, this is still yesterday, VRA. So this is a gap and, well, kind of a gap and maybe go. That 20 coming up through the 200 there is probably gonna give it some lift. Oh, earnings. So that's what did it here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with that 20 through the 200 alert. 20 crossing the 200 MA. ZUMZ. Wow, nice chart. So your problem with this one, sorry, just got a message here. Wow, I had no idea my DMs were that busy today. The problem with that one is each leg through, so each of the MAs that crosses breaches the 200, the weaker the possible trade will go. So just give me 2 seconds here. Okay, so yeah, the problem with ZUMZ is the 20's already breached the 200, the 50 breached, now it's the 100, and so that's getting a little long in the tooth. And if you had to take this, you could, but because so you see here the 20, the 50, and the 100. By the time you get to the 100, you're near the end of the move. I mean, it could continue, but anyway, not the best scenario. So I'm not even going to alarm that one. So that's ZUMZ, GIII. So this is a gap and go that it's got resistance there where this gap is. Very interesting. So it's day 3. Huh. Sidewinder. Got lift. So I'm going to alarm this just by price action, because if it does happen to go, then I'll go with it. We'll see. Okay. So that takes care of the alarms. Did I hit record? I did. Oh, Manny, welcome. Manny's new. Okay, so that's GIII, and then let's take a look at some of these movers and shakers on the day. So Sage, well, we'll look at it quick here. That's what you get there. So when that happens, wait for it to come back to or meet an MA and bounce before you, unless you know you have a strong reason for the gap and go to go with it. ENTL, same scenario. GALT. So I haven't followed this one. I remember when it tanked. Why I didn't go with it or alarm it or whatever, I'm not sure. But now it's up against its 200. What a fantastic washout play. Dang it. But you can't watch them all. I mean, it'd be nice to, I should get an assistant or two just to alarm everything and watch my setups. MRNS. Wow. What a bullish chart. Crazy. They normally won't do this. Normally they'll get through their legs and either shoot up out of the bowl or come down to the 200-ish or whatever, or worse. But this, good Lord, I don't even know how to, because I just don't have a reference point for this. You can see it happen here too. A different way, but same idea. Oh, the chart, there's not a lot of chart history here. Jeepers. This will probably go, but I can't give you any technical argument, but it's probably gonna go. But I hate taking trades when I can't technically back up what I'm doing. DPW, well, you know, day trader's paradise. Crypto related. SEAC. Gap, will it go? Who knows? EGAN. So there it is. There's one coming out of the bowl. Boom. Right out of the bowl it goes. So what if you don't catch it when it's leaving the bowl? Don't chase it. Very dangerous. So there's XOMO alarming. HOME at home group. This has been such a bullish chart. Like, that's nuts. Very few stocks ever do that. Isn't the issue liquidity with this one? No, it's not. Good Lord, look at that chart. Stock RSI is coming down. Price went up. I mean, same thing. I don't know. What do I? Wow. That's all I can say about that. XOMO. Let's go back and look at what's going on here. Sheepers. This is a 1 minute. Can't remember, was it the hourly on this one I was working on? Oh, I can't remember, but I sure like this chart. I'm going to go with 20 through the 50 on the hourly, 20 across the 50. You can make notes in here, by the way. Oh no, that's home. Where did XOMO go? Oh, oh yeah, right. Right. Breakout. This is a breakout scenario. I just want to be able to come back to this. Price action, I guess, is it, eh? We'll just go with price action. Then if it starts to break, I'll know. FA again. Another day trader's paradise stock. Can't do it. FRSX. Liquidity issue. GEF. Oh, that's funny. These are funny charts today. Man, these are charts for the bulls, for the day traders. The aggressive day traders. All of them. These are aggressive charts. Oh, that's why. Let's go back to the daily here. That's interesting. An alert over the 50. Let's go back to these on the daily. VKTX. Okay, so yeah, that shows a different story. Another gap and maybe go. TCCO. That's funny. That can really get going. If you don't mind a carnival ride, this is the one to watch. You could alarm that 20 going through the 50. If that happens, it's probably going to run. I'm out of alerts, so I have to clean up my alerts. So I'm not even going to alert this one or alarm it. NCS. Just garbage. And then the downdrafts, I already went through them today. There's nothing in there unless there's anything new. Nope. Okay, so it's 1:15 or 1:12. I'm going to take a look at my plays that I'm watching on the day and see if there's something for me to get involved in. Crude oil is getting right up into a possible short area. And see what else is going on here with my stuff. AAOI still under pressure. Nugget is under pressure and getting close to its add zone still. So this is oil's daily, by the way. It wouldn't hurt to take a look at this. So it's under its, see how it's under its 20 MA there. So basically right at its 20 MA, it's a short, but that stock RSI is turning up. But oil always does this. Oil is near impossible to trade off of the indicators relative to the MAs. That's why that epic model is so awesome. So it hasn't completely firmed up where I need it to yet. And gold hasn't completely got to where my buy zone is. Let's take a look at gold here quick. It's very close. Very, very close. XOMO. Let's go back to it really quick here. It's not showing as an alarm. It alarmed. What the? Who da? XOMO. Yeah, there's your horns. Good golly, Miss Molly. Stock RSI on the 5 is just turning up. Ooh, good thing I looked. It's a good rule in trading is always look at your different time frames all the way to your weekly. It's got the 200 overhead. Still got, you know, $6 worth of room there though. I see. The crazy thing is it's probably going to blow through that. It did last time. Just didn't keep it. Wow. What a play. So how do you do this? Well, price action alarming. I'm going to have to really look close at this at the end of the day. I mean, really, if it proves itself up here, like there's really no need to hurry, because if it proves itself, you're going to get about a $5 window, and it'll happen fast. So why not make sure you get it, that it's set up properly. Let it prove over top, and then go. Look at the volume coming in too. Now gold, getting back to gold quick here. It's so close to support. Golly. Yeah, that gold is really close. Crude is up near resistance. Gold is right near a buy. Stock RSI in the 60s just starting to curl up. But gold's the same way as oil. You have to be careful with the indicators relative to the MA and making decisions that way. But they can give you clues. Yeah, that MACD is just flat. So the buyers have started to come in. Now they've come in at various times and it's failed, so that doesn't help you. The MACD turning up over here did get some lift, but then it failed. MACD's been flat before and then failed. I mean, this has been quite the downdraft. And I'm in small, underwater a bit. And had I waited for it to prove out, I wouldn't be. Or if I cut quick, I would have had a small loss. But I mean, I'm not worried about it because I know the trading range for gold, so my sizing is good. Yeah, these indicators, even on these tighter time frames, really aren't doing much. So it's just not ready. But it is so close. I'm going to be sizing in fairly large on this particular move, and then yeah. So I'm going to add an alert for on the 5 minute over the 200 MA, and then I'll see what the model has to say at that point. Okay, so whoops. Oh yeah, right. I got to kill some alerts. Let's find a junk alert here. Something I don't need. That I don't need. I bet you half these old ones aren't even needed. So what was I going to do? I was going to do price over the 200. Yeah, I have to reboot to get that. It doesn't matter anyway because I have it on my, I know what I'll do. I'll just move one of my other alerts on my gold chart down there quick. I already have placed. Let's do that. Okay, so that's midday review, 1:23 p.m. December 7th, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks, guys.